America, gather around because it's time to talk about presidential terms. Specifically the idea of a president sticking around longer than the Constitution intended. You see, this whole two-term limit thing wasn't just pulled out of a hat. It's rooted in a tradition established by the big guy himself, George Washington. He stepped down after 2 terms, setting a precedent that screamed, 8 years is enough even for someone as awesome as me. Fast forward to the 1940s and Franklin Delano Roosevelt throws a spanner in the works. He wins a 3rd and then a 4th term, shattering that 2-term tradition. Now, FDR had his reasons, World War II being a pretty compelling one, but his multiple victories sparked a debate about presidential power and the dangers of staying in office too long. Enter the 22nd Amendment, ratified in 1951. This amendment basically slapped a big, fat limit on presidential terms, declaring that no one can be elected president more than twice. It was a direct response to FDR's extended tenure, and a way to prevent future presidents from potentially holding on to power for decades. 2 terms and you're out, buddy, that's the rule. Now let's talk about amending the Constitution, shall we? Because if anyone's thinking of bending the rules for another presidential go-around, that's the only legal way to do it. And let me tell you, amending the Constitution is about as easy as herding cats on a roller coaster. It's a deliberately difficult process designed to ensure that any changes to this foundational document have overwhelming support. Here's the gist. You need a 2/3 majority vote in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. That's right, folks, 2/3. Not a simple majority, not a we're feeling generous majority, a supermajority. And if you manage to clear that hurdle, you're still not done. 3/4 of the states then need to ratify the amendment. That's 38 states. For those keeping score at home, the Founding Fathers wanted to make damn sure that any changes to the Constitution were the result of broad consensus, not just a fleeting whim of the political moment. They knew that amending this document should be a big deal, not something you do on a Tuesday afternoon because you're feeling a bit spontaneous. Now, some folks, bless their cotton socks, have floated this idea that the 22nd Amendment has a loophole. They claim it only prevents you from being president more than twice, not from to the presidency. Their cunning plan? Run for vice president. Have the elected president conveniently resign and boom, you're back in the big chair. It's a clever scheme, I'll grant you that. It's also complete and utter balderdash. You see, the Founding Fathers may not have anticipated Twitter, sorry X, but they weren't born yesterday. They wrote the 12th Amendment, which very clearly states that anyone who's ineligible to be president is also ineligible to be vice president. It's like trying to sneak into a concert by pretending to be the drummer's roadie when you're holding a tuba. It's just not gonna work. Section 4, a 3rd term tempest, global ripples, and domestic tremors. Let's just entertain this notion for a moment, shall we? Let's say, hypothetically speaking, that someone did manage to circumvent the 22nd Amendment. What would happen? Well, apart from the obvious constitutional crisis, the political fallout would be like a dumpster fire at a fireworks factory. The United States would be plunged into uncharted territory, facing a level of political instability not seen in generations. Internationally, allies would question America's commitment to democratic principles. Adversaries would exploit the chaos. The global order, already fragile, could teeter on the brink. Domestically, the very fabric of American democracy would be strained to its breaking point. The peaceful transfer of power, a cornerstone of the republic, would be shattered. Trust in institutions would erode further. And for what? The ego of one person? The ambitions of a political party willing to torch the rule of law for their own gain? It's a recipe for disaster. A dangerous gamble with the future of the nation. Section 5, History's Unlikely Amendments, Lessons in Constitutional Inertia. Amending the Constitution is no walk in the park. It's a testament to the Founding Fathers' foresight that this document, written centuries ago, remains relevant today. But that relevance doesn't mean it's been static. The Constitution has been amended 27 times, each amendment reflecting a significant societal shift or a necessary correction. But here's the thing, amending the Constitution, to allow one person to hold the presidency for more than 2 terms? That's about as likely as finding a unicorn riding a unicycle on the moon. It would require a level of political consensus that simply doesn't exist in today's hyper-partisan climate. The Constitution is not a toy to be manipulated for personal gain. It's the bedrock of American democracy, a document that has weathered countless storms and emerged stronger. To tamper with its fundamental principles for the sake of political expediency would be a grave disservice to the nation and its people. We encourage you to join the conversation and consider the implications of such a move. What do you think about the idea of amending the Constitution to allow a president to serve more than 2 terms? Is it a necessary evolution or a dangerous precedent? Your thoughts and opinions matter, and we look forward to reading them in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified of our next upload. As ever, until next time, stay curious.